Hello, and welcome back to PSO2NGS Melody. Today we will be looking at Meteorn's song, the theme that plays during the second phase of the Dark Falls Interception Urgent Quest. More importantly, we will be going over the lyrics, what they mean, and why they resonated so well with me. But first, let's go back 2 years in time and get into the headspace we were in, back at the beginning of 2022. New Genesis was out for just about half a year, and Elio patch was rough to say the least. The story at this point was not very interesting. You had some hints that Manon was hiding something, but most people probably already forgot about that. Mainly because we still couldn't replay any story missions, and most people forgot about the hints. It didn't help that once we did get story replay, it would take another year just to replay the prologue, which had some of the biggest hints. Gameplay-wise, New Genesis wasn't doing very hot either. We still lacked any endgame activities, and there was no reason to really grind anything, other than Meseta. The game didn't really feel like PSO2 yet. In PSO2, you always had something to grind, and starting with episode 5, you always had endgame activities to hone your skills and augments for. On top of that, you didn't feel like a player playing a video game, you felt like a member of ARKS. At least I did, but then again, I have brain damage. The game had a very strong sense of identity over being an ARKS. Every time the whole new world kicks in, it's like our theme song starts playing, and the Dark Falls are in trouble now. It's a very cathartic feeling, and was sorely lacking in NGS. Meteorn's song sort of brings it back, partly because it is vocalized by Amy Blackschlager, who you might recognize from the episode 6 intro song, As One. However, NGS achieves that cathartic feeling in a different way. If you're a Ruby fan, you might be familiar with the way they do their song lyrics. There are a lot of story, character, or world-building elements that the showrunners can't elegantly insert into the show. So instead, what they'll do is to share a lot of that stuff through the lyrics of their songs. This is of course very hit or miss depending on who you'll ask. The mega fans will absolutely love to interpret what the lyrics are trying to convey, and the casual enjoyer will just shrug and go play something else. But yours truly is one of those mega fans, so I'm here to overanalyze. First of all, what is a Meteorn? Meteorns are ARKS who aren't from Halpha. As far as we know, Dozer is the only other Meteorn we ever interacted with, and we come from a space station that isn't less seal. We lack all memories of who we are, but I suppose the muscle memory of swinging a weapon is hard to forget. In the Japanese script, Meteorns are referred to as Starwalkers, which is infinitely cooler, and us English speakers were robbed to be honest. Perhaps, we walk across the star. Less. Now, before we begin, let me get something off my chest. New Genesis music, up to this point, was kinda whatever. We had some cool battle and environmental themes, but they were always lacking energy. So after half a year of being used to pretty serviceable music, and even the trailer for the Dark Falls fight showing no sign of this changing, we're hit with this. This right here is when NGS started to feel like PSO2 again. Concerts are back, Dark Falls are back, kick-ass music is back. Even the lyrics are telling us to get ready. The beginning of the song reads like we're starving for a real challenge, and Dark Falls is here to provide it to us. Are you siding with me? Feels like a question asked directly by the developers. Are we on board with what they cooked up so far? Keep in mind, prior to version 2, the devs were basically radio silent to us. Best we got was Hiro Arai speaking on behalf of the devs.
Welcome back, everybody.
But we never got anything directly from them.
I don't remember when, I don't remember how, I
This part of the song refers directly to our memory loss. We don't know what happened to ARKS after the victory over the primordial darkness, and ARKS isn't even the same organization we know them as. The acronym doesn't even make much sense in this environment, but we'll get to that later. I think everyone who loves PSO2 did feel a void in their heart at some point with NGS. Some people still do, and it's what I've been talking about at the beginning of the video. NGS just didn't feel like PSO2. There was something missing about the game. That something is different for every one of us. Tomorrow leading us on means that it is a tease, and the lyrics don't shy away from confirming that either. But that doesn't matter. Because no matter what tomorrow brings, defeating Dark Falls is the only thing we know, and we will savor these battles. We will soldier on. We thought defeating the Dark Falls would end the war with dolls, but that was just part of Zafeto's plan to prepare us for the battle against the Starless. So, this is the first part of the refrain that was missing at the beginning of the song. One line sticks out in particular. Our purpose we borrow. What is the purpose of an ARKS? ARKS are an artificial relict to keep species. We were created by the Photoners to clean up their mess with the profound darkness, and preserve species from the Dark Fallses and their false spawn. This purpose is gone though. After the events of episode 6, ARKS are purposeless. So, what's our purpose now? Well, without an enemy we don't have a purpose, no reason to fight. This led to the decline of ARKS, and the lack of preparation for the Starless. So, if we don't have a purpose, we're gonna borrow the purpose. We're gonna invent an enemy to fight, name it Dark Falls, for old time's sake, and when the time comes, we'll be prepared. This part alludes again to our memory loss, as well as the feeling that something is missing. Curiously, it also alludes that we're part of a plan we still don't know yet at this point. Which, as we'd later find out, was the Alpha experiment. This feels like another developer message, left to us players. It can be interpreted as in-universe fear of the future, but it can also be interpreted as fear of the future of the game. It's difficult to enjoy something long-term if you're uncertain that it's gonna stick around. MMOs are a long-term investment after all. A lot of people don't get invested in an MMO, just to play it for a week and then drop completely. I don't need help, well, why do you ask? No matter what the future will bring, there is only one road for us to take. We come and fight together, overcome everything thrown at us, and all belong in this world. We will fight for Alpha and any other planet we may or may not visit in the future. Because we're ARKS and we're here to stay. Looking back, the lyrics kinda spelled it out that we're likely not gonna leave Alpha anytime soon. For better or worse, Alpha is our new home, and it's best to get used to it. The Meteorn we play as is a little bit fleshed out as a character. Right now, it's implied that we're the same main character we played in PSO2, who's suffering from amnesia. Later we'd find out that we're more of a copy than the real deal. Some people see that as a retcon, but I don't think it changes anything we knew, only what we assumed. But you know, those are just my interpretations of the lyrics. Those are probably not correct, just how I feel about them with the knowledge we have these days. And if they are correct, it's pretty cool they'd foreshadow things we wouldn't know for another year. I do wonder what your interpretations are though. I know many people will not agree with me, specifically on the point that this UQ was the first time NGS felt like PSO2, and that's totally fine. We all interpret things differently, and that's awesome, especially when interpreting art. But that's all I've got for you today. Next episode, I will look at the lyrics of Our Life, Our Scars. I hope you'll be looking forward to that. As always, a massive shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. I hope you liked this little analysis, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care!